The world as Alex Carter knew it had ended weeks ago. The skyline of the once bustling city was now a graveyard of collapsed buildings and burning wreckage. The streets were silent, save for the distant groans of the undead. He moved carefully, weaving through overturned cars and abandoned storefronts, his grip tightening around the blood-stained crowbar in his hands. The sun was setting, and he knew he had to reach shelter before nightfall. A few blocks away, he spotted his destination, a boarded-up convenience store that had been turned into a makeshift safe house. As he approached, a familiar voice called out from the rooftop. "Alex! You made it back." Erica leaned over the ledge, waving for him to hurry. Behind her, Lucas, Ryan, and the rest of the group stood in the doorway, weapons ready. Alex climbed the metal fire escape and dropped inside. "Any trouble?" Lucas, a burly man with a permanent scowl, crossed his arms. "Depends. You bring anything useful?" Alex tossed his backpack down, revealing a few canned goods and a half-full water bottle. "It's getting worse out there," he said, glancing around the dimly lit store. "We need to move soon. The city's running dry." Ryan, a younger man with jittery hands, spoke up. "I don't think that's the biggest problem." He pointed toward a corner where a stack of crates used to hold their food supply. Half of it was missing. Erica stiffened. "Someone took it?" Lucas gritted his teeth. "Or someone stole it." His eyes darted to each member of the group. "We're the only ones here. Which means one of us is lying." Silence fell over the room. Alex felt a chill crawl up his spine. He had seen what starvation could do to people. He had treated patients who had been beaten over a single can of soup before the world fell apart. Hunger turned people desperate. Desperate people turned dangerous. "I say we search everyone's stuff," Lucas announced. "Whoever took it needs to come clean." "No one is searching anything," Erica shot back. "We don't need to turn on each other." "We already have a problem," Lucas growled. "If we don't find out who's responsible, we're going to starve in here." Alex exhaled slowly. "Let's not do anything stupid. First, let's check the perimeter. If someone else got in." A sudden thud outside cut him off. Everyone froze. The sound had come from the alley behind the store. A slow, dragging noise followed, a telltale sign of something moving. "Zombies." Ryan swallowed hard. "Did they follow you?" he whispered to Alex. "No," Alex muttered. "At least, I don't think so." Another thud, louder this time. And then, something more unsettling. A faint, scraping sound. Someone was trying to get in. Lucas motioned for silence as he crept toward the back door, gripping his knife. The others stayed close, weapons raised. Alex could hear his own heartbeat pounding in his ears. If this was just a lone zombie, they could handle it. But if it wasn't? Lucas reached for the door handle. A moment of hesitation. Then, with a swift pull, he yanked it open. The alley was empty. No zombies. No movement. Nothing. Just a pile of bricks scattered near the door, bricks that hadn't been there before. Alex felt a knot form in his stomach. Someone had been here. Someone alive. Before he could speak, a scream rang out from inside the store. He turned just in time to see Erica standing near the supply crates, her face pale with shock. A small, tattered backpack lay open on the ground. Inside, cans of food. Food that had been stolen. The group slowly turned to her. I didn't take it," she stammered, shaking her head. "I swear." Lucas clenched his fists. "Then how do you explain that?" Alex looked at Erica. Then at the others. A sick feeling spread in his chest. Because for the first time since the outbreak, he realized. The zombies weren't the only threat. The real danger was standing right in front of him. A heavy silence filled the air. The group stood frozen, their eyes shifting between the open backpack and Erica's pale face. Alex's mind raced. Erica had always been one of the most reliable members of the group, smart, resourceful, and always the first to volunteer for scavenging runs. If she had stolen the food, why would she keep it in plain sight? Lucas took a step forward, fists clenched. You lied to us. His voice was low, controlled, but full of restrained anger. I didn't. Erica snapped, her voice shaking. I don't know how that got there. Someone's setting me up. Ryan let out a nervous laugh. Oh, sure. A zombie must have stashed it there for you. Enough, Alex said firmly. This isn't the time to turn on each other. He turned to Lucas. We don't have proof that she took it. Lucas scoffed. The proof is right there. He jabbed a finger at the backpack. She's been stealing from us, and we're just supposed to let it slide? We don't know that, Alex insisted. His gut told him there was more to this. Let's think for a second. If she really took the food, why would she leave it out in the open like this? Lucas narrowed his eyes. Maybe because she got caught before she could hide it properly. I didn't take it, Erica repeated, looking around desperately. Someone is trying to turn you all against me. But no one spoke up in her defense. The tension in the air thickened. Alex could see it, the growing divide. If they weren't careful, this would spiral into something much worse. And then, another sound. A soft scratch at the back door. Everyone froze. Alex turned his head toward the alley. The door was still slightly open from when Lucas had checked earlier. The pile of bricks that had been knocked over, could someone have been watching them? Lucas motioned for silence. He crept forward, gripping his knife tightly, and peered through the gap in the door. Alex held his breath, every nerve on edge. Lucas's body tensed. Shit. What is it? Alex whispered. Lucas slowly pulled the door shut, securing the latch. Then he turned back to the group, his face grim. We've got company. A lot of it. The groaning started softly, almost distant, but within seconds, it grew into a chorus of undead wails. Ryan stumbled back. They did follow us. No, Alex muttered, his stomach tightening. Something, or someone, led them here. A dull thump sounded against the back door. Then another. The safe house had been compromised. Upstairs, Alex ordered. Now. The group hurried toward the stairwell leading to the rooftop access. Alex waited until everyone was moving before following. Below, the thudding against the door turned into violent pounding. The undead were getting desperate. By the time they reached the roof, the last bit of daylight was fading. From up here, they could see them, at least a dozen zombies, staggering through the alley, drawn by the noise and movement. But Alex wasn't looking at the undead. He was scanning the nearby rooftops, the windows of the surrounding buildings. Someone had been out there. Someone had led the horde straight to them. And that meant their problems were far from over. They took shifts keeping watch through the night. Alex sat near the rooftop's edge, crowbar resting across his lap, eyes fixed on the darkened streets below. The undead clawed at the safe house doors, their guttural moans echoing in the stillness. The others were huddled further back. Erica was sitting alone, arms wrapped around her knees, while Ryan and Lucas whispered to each other. Alex knew what they were talking about. Erica. The stolen food. The growing distrust. But there was something else nagging at him. The missing supplies had been hidden in plain sight. Someone had made sure they'd find them. And now, just hours later, the safe house was under siege. Someone was playing games with them. He glanced toward Erica. If she was innocent, then that meant the real culprit was still out there. Or worse, still among them. A soft shuffling sound behind him snapped him out of his thoughts. Lucas was approaching, arms crossed. We need to talk. Alex sighed. I figured. Lucas sat down beside him, staring out at the street below. We can't let this go. Alex nodded. I agree. But we need to be sure before we do anything. Lucas exhaled sharply. Look, I get it. You like to play the hero. You think there's some logical explanation for all of this. But we can't afford to take chances. He looked directly at Alex. If she's guilty, she needs to go. Alex met his gaze. And if she's not? Lucas was quiet for a moment. Then he stood up. Then we have an even bigger problem. With that, he walked away, leaving Alex alone with his thoughts. The undead continued to pound on the walls below. Somewhere nearby, hidden in the darkness, someone was watching. Waiting. And inside the safe house, the real threat wasn't the zombies at the door. It was the person planning their next move. The pounding on the doors had stopped. Morning light crept over the ruined city, revealing the street below. The horde had wandered off sometime before dawn, leaving behind bloodstains and scattered bones from some unlucky soul they had devoured during the night. But inside the safe house, the real threat still lingered. Alex stood near the rooftop's edge, exhausted but alert. He hadn't slept. His mind had been racing all night, piecing together the events of the last 24 hours. Someone had stolen supplies. Someone had set Erica up. And someone had drawn the zombies straight to their door. If they didn't figure out who, they wouldn't survive much longer. Behind him, the others stirred. Ryan sat rubbing his tired eyes, while Erica sat apart from the group, her back against the wall. Lucas was pacing. "We can't keep ignoring this," Lucas said suddenly, breaking the silence. "We need to deal with it." Erica tensed but said nothing. Alex turned. "I agree. But we need proof before we do anything." Lucas scoffed. The proof was in her damn backpack. Alex exhaled slowly, choosing his words carefully. That food wasn't hidden well. Whoever put it there wanted us to find it. If Erica really stole from us, why wouldn't she hide it somewhere safer? Lucas folded his arms. "You're overthinking this." Ryan spoke up, his voice hesitant. "Maybe we should do another search? Just to be sure?" Lucas clenched his jaw but nodded. "Fine. We'll check everything. No more secrets." One by one, they emptied their packs. Alex's had only a half-empty water bottle and some medical supplies. Ryan had some spare ammo, a few protein bars, and a rusted pocket knife. Lucas's bag had a loaded gun and a small stash of canned food, nothing unusual. Finally, it was Erica's turn. She dumped out her pack, hands trembling. A few loose bandages, a flashlight, a half-eaten energy bar, nothing else. Alex exhaled. "There's nothing here." Lucas frowned. "That doesn't mean—" A sudden clatter interrupted him. Ryan had turned over a nearby crate, and something had fallen out. A second stash of food. The group stared at it. Erica's face went pale. "That's not mine." Lucas's expression darkened. "How many times are you gonna lie to us?" "I swear, I didn't do this," she pleaded. Alex stared at the stash. Something didn't add up. The cans were stacked neatly, but dust covered them, as if they had been hidden for a while. "Someone's playing games with us," Alex muttered. Lucas ignored him, stepping toward Erica. "I say we get rid of her. We can't have a thief in our group." Ryan hesitated. "Shouldn't we?" Lucas grabbed Erica's wrist. "I'm done talking. She's out." Erica struggled. "Let go of me." Alex stepped between them. "We don't exile people without proof." Lucas's eyes burned with rage. "You're making a mistake." "Maybe," Alex said, "but I'd rather make a mistake than throw out someone innocent." The tension stretched between them like a drawn wire. Then Lucas released Erica's arm and turned away. "Fine," he muttered. "But don't come crying to me when she screws us over." Alex didn't reply. His gut told him this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. Something was wrong. Ryan had dozed off near the entrance. Lucas sat by the window, cleaning his gun. Erica was curled up in a corner, arms wrapped around her knees. Alex listened carefully. The streets were quiet. No zombies. No movement. But then, a soft click. His eyes snapped open. He turned his head, scanning the room. Nothing. But then he saw it. Lucas. He was standing near the supply crate, the same one where they had found the second stash. And he was slipping something into his backpack. Alex's blood ran cold. He had to be sure. Silently, he shifted, watching Lucas's every move. The man turned, scanning the room. Then he slung his bag over his shoulder and crept toward the back door. Alex's heart pounded. Where the hell was he going? He waited until Lucas was gone, then followed. Moving as silently as possible, Alex stepped through the doorway and into the alley behind the store. Lucas was ahead of him, walking quickly toward a side street. He paused at an abandoned car, knelt down, and pulled something out from underneath. A second bag. Alex's stomach clenched. Lucas had been hoarding supplies all along. And if he was hiding food, that meant. Alex barely had time to react before a gun was pressed against the back of his skull. Should have stayed inside, Lucas murmured. Alex tensed. You set her up. Lucas chuckled softly. She was the easiest target. And you? You're too smart for your own good. Alex's mind raced. He had to act fast. Then. A sound. A low, shuffling groan. Lucas turned his head for half a second, just enough time for Alex to move. He twisted, knocking Lucas's arm aside, and lunged forward, driving his elbow into the man's ribs. Lucas stumbled back. His gun went off, a deafening bang in the silence. The gunshot echoed through the streets. And from the shadows, the dead began to stir. Alex's breath hitched. You just got us both killed. Lucas smirked, stepping backward. Not me. Then he turned and ran, straight toward the safe house. Alex's stomach dropped. Lucas wasn't just trying to escape. He was leading the horde straight to the others. And by the time Alex got back, it might already be too late. Alex sprinted after Lucas, his heart pounding in his chest. The echoes of the gunshot still lingered in the air, but something far worse followed it, the unmistakable sound of the undead stirring. The moans started soft, like distant whispers in the night, but quickly grew into a monstrous chorus. Shadows moved between the abandoned buildings, shambling figures emerging from alleys and doorways. They were coming. And Lucas was running straight for the safe house. Alex's blood ran cold. If Lucas got there first, he could lock the door and leave them all to die. No. He couldn't let that happen. He pushed himself harder, feet pounding against the cracked pavement. His muscles burned, but he forced himself forward. Lucas was fast, but Alex had always been quicker. Lucas reached the back entrance first, fumbling with the door. Alex was only steps behind. Don't you do it! Alex shouted. Lucas turned his head, eyes burning with defiance. Then he yanked the door open and slipped inside. Alex lunged forward, just as the door slammed shut in his face. Lucas! Alex banged on the door. Open it! No response. Then, click. The lock slid into place. Alex took a step back, disbelief washing over him. Lucas had trapped him outside. And the dead were closing in. Inside the safe house, Erica and Ryan bolted upright at the sound of the gunshot. Ryan grabbed his bat, heart racing. What the hell was that? Before Erica could answer, the back door burst open. Lucas stumbled in, breathing hard. Ryan lowered his bat. Where's Alex? Lucas wiped sweat from his forehead. Gone. Erica's stomach twisted. What do you mean, gone? Lucas hesitated, just for a second. We got ambushed. I barely made it back. Ryan frowned. But. A loud thud against the door made them all jump. Then another. And another. The moans grew louder. Ryan ran to the window, and his blood went cold. The street was crawling with zombies. They weren't just passing through. They were coming straight for them. Erica gripped Ryan's arm. "Where's Alex?" she demanded. Lucas exhaled sharply. "We don't have time for this. We need to get upstairs. Now." Ryan hesitated. "But..." Lucas grabbed his arm. "Move!" Outside, the undead reached the walls, clawing at the door, their hungry growls vibrating through the walls. And on the other side of that locked door, Alex was still out there. Alex's mind raced. The alley was too narrow. Too many walls. Too many dead. His only way out was up. His eyes locked onto the fire escape attached to the side of the building. It was rusted, half broken, but it was his only shot. He sprinted toward it, just as the first zombie lunged. Alex ducked, barely avoiding its grasp, and leaped, grabbing onto the lowest rung of the ladder. The metal groaned under his weight. A rotting hand grabbed his ankle. Alex kicked out, knocking the corpse back, and scrambled up the ladder. His muscles burned, but he climbed fast. Below him, the alley swarmed with the undead. They snarled and snapped at his heels, but they couldn't reach him. He reached the rooftop, rolling onto the surface, gasping for breath. For a split second, he lay there, chest heaving. Then, he pushed himself up. He had no time to rest. He had to get back inside. Inside the safe house, Erica's mind was spinning. Lucas was lying. She knew it. Something in his story didn't add up. And then, she noticed it. Lucas's bag. It was still half open from earlier. And inside, more food. More supplies. Her eyes widened. Lucas was the traitor. Her heart pounded. If he had lied about the supplies, what else had he lied about? She turned to Ryan. "We can't trust him," she whispered. Ryan looked confused. "What?" Before she could answer. Crash. The rooftop hatch burst open. And Alex dropped inside. Disheveled. Breathless. Furious. Ryan's mouth fell open. "Alex?" Lucas took a step back, eyes wide. Alex's gaze locked onto him. "You bastard." Lucas reached for his gun. But Alex was faster. He tackled Lucas, slamming him against the wall. Supplies spilled from Lucas's bag. "Tell them," Alex growled. Lucas struggled. Alex shoved him harder. "Tell them." Lucas hesitated. Then, the front door burst open. And the dead poured inside. Ryan's face drained of color. "Oh, shit." Lucas shoved Alex away, scrambling to his feet. "We have to get to the roof." Alex grabbed his crowbar, heart hammering. He turned to Erica and Ryan. "Go!" Ryan didn't need to be told twice. He bolted for the stairs. Erica hesitated, just for a second, then ran after him. Lucas moved to follow. But Alex grabbed his arm. Lucas spun, eyes wild. "We don't have time for this." Alex's grip tightened. "You left me out there to die." Lucas wrenched free. "And if you stay down here, you will." Then, he ran. Alex clenched his jaw. He could deal with Lucas later. Right now, he had to survive. Snarling corpses flooded into the room, their rotten hands reaching for him. Alex took a deep breath. Then he charged. To be continued. Alex swung his crowbar with all his strength. The cold metal cracked against the skull of the nearest zombie, sending it staggering backward. But there were too many. Dozens of undead flooded into the room, their guttural groans drowning out everything else. Alex backed up, heart pounding. The others had already made it upstairs. He had to move, now. A zombie lunged. Alex ducked, ramming the crowbar straight through its jaw. The rotting corpse twitched, then collapsed. But more were coming. He turned and sprinted toward the stairwell. The dead chased after him. Upstairs, the rooftop hatch swung open. Ryan climbed out first, gasping for breath. He turned and pulled Erica up behind him. Lucas was already there, pacing. Ryan looked around frantically. "Where's Alex?" Before Erica could answer, a deafening crash sounded below. Then, footsteps. Fast. Desperate. A second later, Alex burst onto the rooftop, slamming the hatch shut behind him. His face was pale, sweat dripping down his brow. "They're right behind me." Lucas swore under his breath. The moans from below grew louder. The undead were swarming the building, filling every room. Ryan gripped his bat. "We're trapped." Alex scanned the rooftop. "No, we're not." He pointed to the next building over. The rooftops were close together, close enough to jump. Erica's stomach twisted. "You're not serious." Alex wiped sweat from his face. "You got a better idea?" The door below them shook. The zombies were trying to break through. Lucas backed up, measuring the distance. "I can make that jump." Ryan swallowed hard. "I don't know, man." Bang! The rooftop door buckled. Alex tightened his grip on his crowbar. "We don't have time." "Go!" Lucas took a running start. And jumped. For a second, he hung in the air. Then, he crashed onto the next rooftop, rolling to a stop. He made it. Lucas stood and motioned for the others. "Come on." Ryan hesitated, then sprinted forward. He leaped, arms flailing. And landed hard, barely catching the edge. Lucas grabbed him, pulling him up. Erica took a deep breath. She hated heights. But there was no choice. She ran. Jumped. And landed safely, knees buckling as she hit the rooftop. Now only Alex was left. The door below them exploded open. The zombies poured onto the rooftop, their dead eyes locking onto Alex. "Alex!" Ryan shouted. Alex took off running. He felt the air rush past him as he jumped. For a moment, just a fraction of a second, he thought he wasn't going to make it. Then, his hands caught the edge. Ryan and Lucas reached down, grabbing his arms. The zombies lunged, but Alex was already being pulled up. He collapsed onto the rooftop, gasping for breath. The undead groaned from the other side, reaching for them, but the gap was too wide. They were safe. For now. They sat in silence, catching their breath. Ryan let out a shaky laugh. That was insane. Erica wiped sweat from her brow. "I don't ever want to do that again." Lucas stood, brushing himself off. "We can't stay here. We need to find another shelter." Alex sat up, his eyes locking onto Lucas. The betrayal. The stolen food. He wanted to deal with it now. Wanted to knock Lucas to the ground and make him answer for what he did. But now wasn't the time. He stood. "Let's move." They made their way across the rooftops, keeping low. The city stretched out around them, burning cars, collapsed buildings, and hordes of the dead shuffling through the streets. No safe havens. No hope. Alex gritted his teeth. They had to keep moving. They reached a ladder leading down into an alley. Alex went first, checking for threats before signaling the others. One by one, they climbed down. Lucas whispered, "We should head north. There's a warehouse district, might have supplies." Alex didn't trust him. But he had no better plan. "Fine," Alex muttered. "Lead the way." They moved through the shadows, staying low. The streets were eerily quiet. Too quiet. Ryan whispered, "I don't like this." Then, a single gunshot rang out. The sound echoed through the empty city. Alex's breath caught. From the distance, moans. Hundreds of them. The sound of the shot had drawn every zombie in the area. Alex turned. Run! They took off down the street. From every alley, every doorway, the undead emerged, drawn to the sound of their footsteps. Lucas was in the lead, weaving between abandoned cars. Alex glanced back. The horde was massive. They had seconds before they were surrounded. Up ahead, Lucas pointed. There! That building. It was an old hardware store, its front door hanging open. The only shelter they had. Alex didn't hesitate. Go! Go! They sprinted inside. Lucas slammed the door shut behind them. The dead pounded against the glass. Erica doubled over, gasping. This is bad. This is really bad. Ryan checked the back. We're trapped. The undead pressed against the windows, their dead hands smearing blood against the glass. Alex's mind raced. They were out of time. And they were trapped. The glass creaked under the pressure of the undead. Their blood-stained hands smeared across the windows as they pushed harder, moaning in hunger. Inside the hardware store, Alex gripped his crowbar, his heart hammering. We need to barricade the doors now, he said. Ryan and Erica sprang into action, grabbing shelves and pushing them against the entrance. Lucas, however, just stood there, breathing hard. Alex shot him a glare. You gonna help, or just watch? Lucas hesitated, just for a second, before moving to stack wooden planks against the door. Outside, the zombies pounded harder. The glass cracked. It's not gonna hold. Erica shouted. Alex scanned the store, his mind racing. There had to be another way out. Then he saw it. A metal security gate in the back, slightly open. There. He pointed. That's our way out. Ryan ran to check. He yanked the gate, but it barely moved. It's stuck, he grunted. Alex joined him, pulling with all his strength. The metal groaned but didn't budge. Lucas swore under his breath. We don't have time for this. Alex turned to him. Then help instead of complaining. Lucas hesitated, then grabbed onto the gate. Together, they pulled. The gate screeched open just enough for one person to slip through at a time. Crack! The glass shattered. The dead poured inside. Go! Go! Alex shouted. Ryan slipped through first, followed by Erica. Lucas shoved past Alex, forcing his way through. Alex turned just in time to see a zombie lunge. He swung his crowbar, caving in its skull. More of them swarmed. No more time. He dove through the gate, just as the horde crashed against it. He landed hard on the pavement outside, gasping. Behind him, the zombies clawed at the metal, their snarls filling the alley. They were safe. For now. The group moved quickly, weaving through the dark alleys. The streets were swarming, but the undead were focused on the hardware store. Lucas wiped sweat from his forehead. That was too close. Alex shot him a look. It's always too close. Erica checked their supplies. We're running low on food and water. Ryan kicked at the ground. Great. What now? Lucas sighed. We keep moving. Warehouse district isn't far. Alex hated listening to him, but they had no other options. He nodded. Fine. But stick together. No more running off. Lucas didn't respond. They walked in silence, avoiding the main roads. The city was dying. Buildings burned in the distance. Cars sat abandoned, some still running, their drivers long gone. The stench of death hung in the air. Erica shivered. I hate this place. Ryan forced a weak smile. Welcome to the apocalypse. They reached the warehouse district just before sundown. It was eerily quiet. Too quiet. Alex felt the hairs on his neck rise. Something was wrong. This place should have zombies, Ryan muttered. Where are they? They moved cautiously, stepping over broken crates and shattered glass. Lucas led them toward a large warehouse with an open loading dock. He peeked inside. Looks clear. Alex frowned. Then why is the door open? Lucas ignored him and stepped inside. The others followed, their weapons ready. Inside, the warehouse was dark, rows of metal shelves stretching into the shadows. But it was stocked. Food. Water. Weapons. Everything they needed. Erica gasped. Holy shit. Ryan grabbed a can of food. We hit the jackpot. Alex didn't move. Something still didn't feel right. Then, a single sound. A shuffle. A breath. Alex turned just as a figure emerged from the shadows. A man. Ragged. Dirty. Holding a shotgun. And behind him. More figures. A whole group. Armed. Watching. Lucas froze. Oh, shit. The man smiled coldly. Looks like we've got visitors. Alex's stomach twisted. They weren't alone. And in this world, no one could be trusted. Alex's grip tightened on his crowbar. The warehouse was supposed to be empty, but now they were staring down an armed group of survivors. The man in front, the one with the shotgun, took a slow step forward. His clothes were ragged, his face covered in grime, but his eyes were sharp and calculating. Didn't expect company, he said, tilting his head. And you just walked in here, huh? No knocking, no asking? Lucas raised his hands slightly. Look, we didn't know this place was taken. We're just passing through. The man smirked. That so? Behind him, 5 other survivors emerged from the shadows, some holding knives, others carrying makeshift weapons. Alex could feel the tension thickening. Ryan whispered, "We should go." The man's smirk widened. "Oh, you want to leave? Just like that?" His fingers tapped against the shotgun's barrel. "I don't think so." The standoff. Lucas took a step forward. "Listen, we don't want trouble." The man scoffed. "Trouble's already here." Erica gritted her teeth. "You're pointing guns at us. We didn't do anything." One of the armed survivors, a wiry guy with a baseball bat, chuckled. "Didn't do anything yet." Alex's muscles tensed. He knew how these situations played out. These weren't friendly people. The man with the shotgun sighed. "Look, supplies are low. And we don't just let anyone waltz in and take what they want." Lucas swallowed. "We're not here to steal." "Oh, but you are." The man's voice turned sharp. "You came in looking for food." "Our food." Alex had enough. "We're not thieves," he said coldly. "But we're also not stupid. You've got the guns. If you were gonna let us go, you would have done it already." The man's smirk faded. "Smart one, huh?" Alex took a step forward. "So let's not waste time. What do you want?" For a moment, the warehouse was silent. Then, the man nodded toward Lucas. Him. The betrayal. Lucas stiffened. "What?" The man kept his gaze locked on Alex. "He stole from you, didn't he?" Ryan's eyes widened. "How did you?" The man chuckled. "Because I've seen his kind before. Selfish. Sneaky. He left you for dead once. He'll do it again." Lucas clenched his fists. "I." The man raised his shotgun slightly. "Here's the deal. Leave him behind, and the rest of you walk out of here alive." Silence. The offer hung in the air like poison. Alex's jaw clenched. He wanted to say yes. Lucas had left him for dead. He'd stolen supplies. Lied. Nearly got them all killed. And yet, something felt wrong. Erica glanced at Alex. "We're not really considering this, are we?" Lucas turned to them. Guys. Ryan looked away. The tension thickened. Then, Alex made his choice. No. The man blinked. No? Alex's grip tightened on his crowbar. We're not handing over one of our own. Lucas let out a shaky breath. The man's smirk returned. Bold. Stupid, but bold. He sighed. Shame. Then he raised his shotgun. Chaos erupts. Alex moved first. He grabbed a nearby shelf and shoved it forward, knocking one of the armed survivors off balance. Ryan swung his bat, catching another in the ribs. Erica ducked as a knife swung past her face, then grabbed a wrench and slammed it into her attacker's knee. Lucas? Lucas ran. Alex cursed but had no time to focus on him. The man with the shotgun aimed. Alex dove. The blast roared past his ear, shattering a box behind him. The warehouse exploded into chaos. Fists. Weapons. Screams. Ryan tackled one of the raiders, slamming his head into the floor. Erica grabbed a fallen pistol, her hands shaking. The leader, his shotgun empty, pulled a knife. He lunged at Alex. Alex dodged, barely. The blade sliced his shoulder. Pain burned through him, but he gritted his teeth and swung his crowbar. It connected. The man staggered, dropping his knife. Alex didn't hesitate. He swung again. The man collapsed, groaning. But there was no time to celebrate. Gunfire erupted from the far end of the warehouse. Ryan yelled, "We need to go." Alex grabbed Erica's arm. They ran. Lucas had already disappeared, typical. Ryan shoved open a side door, and they spilled into the alley. The shouts behind them faded as they ran into the dark streets. The aftermath. They didn't stop running for at least 10 blocks. Finally, they collapsed behind an overturned bus, panting. Blood dripped from Alex's shoulder. Erica pressed a cloth against it. "You're an idiot," she muttered. Alex let out a weak chuckle. "Yeah." Ryan exhaled. That was insane. Lucas was gone. Maybe he had died. Maybe he was still out there. But one thing was certain. They couldn't trust anyone. Alex leaned his head back, staring at the night sky. The undead were terrifying. But the living? They were worse. To be continued. The city was silent. Not the peaceful kind of silence, the wrong kind. Alex, Erica, and Ryan crouched behind the overturned bus, catching their breath. Their bodies ached, their lungs burned, and their hands were stained with blood. Lucas was gone. The raiders were either dead or licking their wounds. But the undead? They were still out there. And the night wasn't over yet. Nowhere left to hide. Alex winced as Erica tightened the cloth around his bleeding shoulder. "You lost a lot of blood," she muttered. Alex gritted his teeth. "I'm fine." Ryan peeked around the edge of the bus. "We can't stay here. We made too much noise. They'll be swarming the streets soon." Alex took a deep breath. He was exhausted, but Ryan was right. They had to keep moving. "Where do we go?" Erica asked. Ryan hesitated. Alex knew what he was thinking. The warehouse had been a disaster. Their last real chance at safety had turned into a bloodbath. They had nothing left. No home. No supplies. No plan. And for the first time since the apocalypse began, Alex wasn't sure what to do next. A dangerous proposal. Erica shifted. "Maybe we should head for the bridge." Alex frowned. "You mean out of the city?" She nodded. "Think about it. It's suicide staying here. Too many zombies. Too many crazy survivors. If we can make it out, we have a shot at finding a safe zone." Ryan scratched his chin. "That's a big if. But it's better than staying here and waiting to die," she shot back. Alex thought about it. She wasn't wrong. The city was done. Burning. Rotting. Even if they survived another night, how long before the next attack? The next betrayal? He exhaled. All right. He nodded. We go for the bridge. Ryan hesitated, but eventually nodded. Erica gave a small, relieved smile. But before they could move. Snap. A sound in the darkness. They froze. Footsteps. Someone was nearby. A familiar face. A shadow moved through the rubble. Alex tightened his grip on his crowbar. Then, Lucas stepped into view. Erica inhaled sharply. Ryan tensed. Alex's hands curled into fists. Lucas looked like hell. His face was bruised, his clothes torn, his hands shaking. But he was alive. And he was alone. Alex's voice was cold. You ran. Lucas swallowed hard. He exhaled. I messed up, okay? Erica shook her head. No. You betrayed us. Twice. Lucas ran a hand through his hair. He sighed. I shouldn't have left. I got scared. Ryan scoffed. Yeah. We noticed. Alex stepped forward. Why are you here? Lucas hesitated. I saw you guys get out. I didn't want to be alone. Silence. Alex's mind raced. They needed every advantage they could get. Another set of hands. Another fighter. But could they really trust him? Lucas had left them to die. More than once. Alex had already forgiven him before. Would it be a mistake to do it again? One last choice. Lucas stared at Alex, waiting for an answer. Ryan whispered, we can't bring him. Erica frowned. I don't know, if we leave him, he's dead. Alex clenched his jaw. His instincts screamed no. But what kind of person was he if he just left Lucas behind? Then again. What kind of person would he be if he let a traitor walk beside them again? Finally, Alex spoke. We're heading for the bridge. Lucas straightened. Then take me with you. A long pause. Then Alex shook his head. No. Lucas flinched. Alex. You made your choice, Alex said quietly. Now I'm making mine. Lucas's face twisted in pain. Please. But Alex turned away. Erica and Ryan followed, though Erica looked back, conflicted. Lucas didn't chase them. He just stood there, watching them disappear into the night. Alone. The final stretch. They moved quickly, slipping through alleyways, avoiding the larger hordes. The bridge loomed in the distance, stretching out of the city like a lifeline. But something was wrong. As they got closer, Alex's stomach sank. The bridge was blocked. Wrecked cars. Barricades. And silhouettes. A lot of them. Not zombies. People. Armed. Guarding the bridge. Ryan cursed under his breath. Great. Erica gritted her teeth. What do we do? Alex studied the scene. These people had control of the only way out. Maybe they were friendly. Maybe they weren't. But Alex had already learned the hard way. No one could be trusted. He exhaled. We find another way. Ryan sighed. Figures. Erica looked back at the ruined city. And if there isn't another way? Alex tightened his grip on his crowbar. Then we make one. And with that, they vanished into the night. Still fighting. Still surviving. But knowing, deep down. In a world like this, the real monsters weren't the undead. They were us. The end.